Hi chaps, MOP here from Beard, Biceps and Batchat. Today I'm bringing you a replay in my Centurion Action X on Thiepval Ridge. Now this being the assault mode, me being on the defending team, it gives us obviously different starting positions. So this left me with a couple of options on how I wanted to play this game and how I want to be effective in this game. So the strengths of this tank, it's got a very good gun, very short reload. It's got three different ammunition types, that being APCR, heat, and the British hash. So it can deal with pretty much any target. Now the view range is great on this tank as well. The gun depression is great on it as well. So it's very much a ridgeline fighter. So I felt the best way for me to be effective in this game is to make the most of all these attributes. Now you can see I've taken up a position here on G5. Now this allows me to use my view range to spot any incoming attacks from the tank spawning in the 1 area, the 2 area, and potentially the 3 area unless they go down the 1-2 line. It's also going to allow me to pop up, take shots, and I've got hard cover in front of me when I want to start using my gun depression if I start getting focus fired. Now my thinking here is I should get quite a lot of assisted damage as I'm spotting most of their team and as I'm taking opportunistic shots. Now because there's a lot of hard cover in the position that I'm in, I've also got to be aware that this cover is also going to blind me a little bit as well. So although I've got a good view of the tank coming from the 1 line, again because of the hard cover, I'm not going to get great views on tanks coming down the left hand flank. So I've got to move about quite a bit just to make sure I'm covering all my angles and that no sneaky little chap is sneaking up on me to take advantage of a special moment on my part. So we've spotted the T10, we've put one shot into him, we've aimed for the pike that is on my side, which at that angle becomes a weak point, so I know the APCR is going to go through. We've caught the IS-4 out in the open, and then we spot the E3, and I realise as much as I would love to just keep pounding shots into the IS-4's flank, that E3 is going to do some serious damage to me. Now, in situations like that, it's all about, I suppose, weighing up the risk versus reward. In that situation, getting shot by the E3 to get a shot into the IS-4 wasn't worth it. So what we've done instead is reposition and just use our gun depression so we can get shots into the IS-4, but the E3 can't slam shots into me and punish me for getting overexcited. We've got the red team pushing quite aggressively down the 9-0 line. We've got a good cover of pretty much the entire FG line where nothing's going to sneak up on us. We're quite well deployed. There's no sort of big gaps in our lines. Now we've spotted quite a lot of the tanks down the 9-0 line, so I'm very aware that there'll probably be some stuff sneaking up on us down the 1-2 line. I also want to see if I can get a couple of shots into the E3 and his mate that he's got with him as well, the Waffentrager. Now he's been taken out by the guys, I don't need to worry about him. So I try my luck on the E3, just push out a little bit. I'm going to use this building on the right as hard cover. I could have gone the other side, but that would have left me open to any tanks that are lurking around the middle or on their hill on D8. Now because nothing's really been spotted and I'm not spotting anything, well aside from that right there, I decided I could be quite aggressive on this E3. Unfortunately, he gets taken out before I can make my move. I've got to deal with this M46 pattern, as well as these cheeky little chaps, that IS-7 and whatever that light tank is. So I've decided to quickly disengage and just to go back to my original position where I was nice and safe, lots of hard cover. I got a little bit excited there, and as a result, I got a shot thrown into me by the IS-7 for the efforts of my excitement. So what I want to do now is again carry on doing what I was doing, look to get spots on the pattern to the left hand side, see if anything else is pushing, and just try and conserve my hit points as much as possible. Judging from the tanks that the red team have lost so far, this isn't going to be a game realistically where a lot of carrying needs to be done. I think we're fairly comfortable. We just need to make sure we're not complacent, and that if we do get, I don't know, the entire team having ridiculous moments, that at least I've got the HP to deal with it. So I decide at this point I've got a couple of options. I can push for the rest of the team. We've got a medium pushing quite aggressively in F8. We've got a couple of TDs pushing. So I decide to advance just a little bit. Again, I don't really want to take the lead in the push. This isn't really a lead tank. It's very much a second line support tank. The hull armor on this thing, it's not great. It's not likely to bounce anything. Realistically, a tier 8 heavy or medium's going to go through the front of it. The beauty of this tank is the hull, when it's using its full 10 degrees of gun depression. So I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm not using the strengths of the tank. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get absolutely punished, probably by that naughty little chap over there. So I'm nice and safe here, 450 meters. Put the blind shot into him, even as he pops off. He isn't going to shoot me back. He's not interested in me. Whereas if I was leading the advance, he would love to get a juicy Hesh round into my side or front hull armor, where he would do a crazy amount of damage. So I wanted to take out the side street. Nope, he's gone before I get a chance. People are just picking him off before I get to press the right trigger in. The game's quite comfortably won at this point, I feel, so I decided to get a little bit more aggressive. I can risk it a lot more, not lost much HP. We're unlikely to lose the game, so it doesn't really matter now that I'm trading HP to get shots in and exposing myself a little bit more. So the reward for the risk is a lot greater at this point. So far, it's been an okay game. We've got the spot and assisted damage that I wanted to get. We've got 6 shots in so far, but I kind of need to do a little bit more damage. So we go for the M46 pattern, go for the tracking shot. I know other tanks are targeting him, so if they're targeting him while I've tracked him, I'm going to get the assisted damage. Unfortunately, he uses a repair kit, backs off around the corner, he eats a shot from the Waffenträger. I put the last one in to take him out for my first kill of the game. The rest of their team is sitting quite comfortably down the 3-4 line. So while I spend the next minute or two driving over there to scoop the last bit of damage, I just want to talk through why I love using this tank so much. When I'm playing it feels very, very fluid. There's a lot of maneuverability. The other thing that I really love, and I know I've touched on this briefly at the start of this video, is the ammunition types. You can see me cycling through the ammunition types there. So APCR is absolutely great for dealing with your tanks that have a lot of hull armor that isn't spaced, sort of your IS-7s, E100s on the sides. You've got your heat rounds, like you need to deal with the E5s. Anything that's not got space, well, anything that doesn't have spaced armor, really, really good when you need that extra little bit of penetration. And the Hesh rounds are just incredible. If anyone who's gone up the British line on the heavies, TDs, and the later mediums, you'll know how useful this round is. When you get round the side of anything, you load a Hesh round and you see 600-700 damage, ammo racks go off, engines on fire. There is not a better feeling in the world than that happening. So we've got the last kill, IS-7. Well, no, I didn't. I got the track for it. IS-7's gone. We've got a victory. And what I would say is a traditional way to play the Centurion Action X, how I see it being ideally played. So we've walked away with almost 3k physical damage, 4.5k assisted. Not quite got the first class. That's not too bad a game. Chaps, I hope you're enjoying the content. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you next time, guys.